Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey. Happy New Year. In 1971, I found out something about life. It completely changed my life. In fact, it's turned out to be the most important thing that ever happened in my life. And that was when someone introduced me to the idea and then the experience that there's a power in me that's greater than circumstance. There's a power in me that's greater than situations and conditions. I've spent my entire adult life both researching and studying and then training and helping other people find that power to create dreams for themselves, to create differences in their lives, to have healings, to experience a life that they truly love living while they live it. So today's video, a Happy New Year video to you, is an idea about how you can take your own experience of this and make it your own in a deeper, more profound way this next year for the purpose of all the things that matter to you, the things that deep down you long for, the things you would love to let go of, the things you would love to bring in, and that you turn around a year from now and you go, this actually was the very best year of my life. That thing I discovered, of course, is that there's a power in us that's breathing us. When you and I wake up this morning on New Year's Day, we didn't wake ourselves up. There's a power in us, this power of life moving into and through us. In the absence of that, the alarm can ring all day long, and there's nobody home to hear that alarm. So life in us, giving us this day, this opportunity, and not just any day, the one day of our lives, and this 1 year that we're looking into and dreaming of what it can be. Now, that experience of this and the relationship with this power grows over time if we decide to cultivate it. And then the power that it actually is in us is unleashed and then can be harnessed and brought into the experience of the dreams we're holding in our own hearts. So one experience I had that really deepened that for me, I want to share with you today, and I hope that you'll take this story with you throughout your entire year, whenever you feel insecure, whenever you start to get a little worried, whenever you start to wonder if you really have what it takes. I want you to remember this story. It was in the late 80s. I went with my adult children to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for vacation. And several of them said, let's go dune buggy riding, Mom. And they wanted to go on these four-wheelers. And I'd always heard stories about dune buggies collapsing and falling over and people getting hurt, like really hurt. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. You guys go ahead. No, come on. We got our helmets. We got on these, and I learned how to start and stop this thing. And we're driving through the streets of Cabo, onto the dirt roads of Cabo, onto the up to the top of these sand dunes. And the goal was to go there, go up and down the sand dunes, have some fun, watch the sunset, and then head back into town. Well, as we got to the sand, it got very squishy, and now the dune buggy's doing this, and I started to feel more and more insecure and more afraid and thinking more of crashes than fun. And I decided to stop at the top of the sand dunes and just think, I can watch the sunset from up here. I don't have to go do all that. How many times have you really wanted something in your life and then you decided to settle? Well, that's what I was doing. And pretty soon my youngest son, Matt Bogus, comes up and up, and stops. He says, Mom, what's going on? I said, you know what, Matt? I'm perfectly fine right here. I'm just going to watch the sunset. How many times have we just said, I'm perfectly fine, when deep down we know that we're hanging on to a fear instead of moving forward in our life? So anyway, he looked at me in the eye and he says, don't let fear win. And I looked at him and I wanted to say, who raised you? Because that was, of course, things I'd said to him over and over again, raising him. And he left, and I thought, well, he's right. So I made my way down to the sand, the hard sand at the bottom of the beach, and I was proud of myself. All right, I made my way down here, going up and down the hard sand, and now it's time to leave. The sun has hit the water, and now it's starting to get dark pretty quickly, so we need to get out of there. All the kids, boom, 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 they're up at the top of the sand dunes, and I'm down there, and I'm going up the first sand dune, which was quite steep, and then slipping down, and going up halfway and slipping down. And pretty soon, one by one, they've come back down to the beach to cheer me on and encourage me and tell me I can actually do this thing. And then about my 12th try of going up and coming down, my daughter's husband, who's born and raised in Mexico City, and we call him a Renaissance man, an extremely wonderful guy and a great gentleman. He doesn't want to embarrass me in front of everybody else who's gathered there. So on all these many failed attempts, he comes over finally and he whispers in my ear. He says, Mama, you have power you are not using. Take your foot off the brake. And I realized that I had, in my intention to go forward, I would get part way and then I would get afraid and then I would unconsciously put on the brake, thus bringing me back down to my starting place again. So he helped me maneuver that moment when I was afraid and lean in instead of pull back. Just lean in a little bit. And before I knew it, I was going up and up and up and up, and I had made my way to the top. I have power I am not using. Take my foot off the brake. Over time, that began to be an inner mantra for me, that I do have power, that I haven't been accessing, power I haven't been connecting with, power I haven't been turning to, that there's a power in every one of us that's greater than any circumstance, situation, or condition. And I've learned over the years that when I feel afraid, rather than contract and pull back, to go ahead and lean in at least a little bit and partner with that power that does know how to go forward even when I don't. So I want to wish you your very best New Year ever, both in your celebration, your rejuvenation, your renewing, your resolution setting, whatever it is that you do to launch the beginning of a new year. And most of all, I wish for you that over this year you come to know deeper and more fully and more profoundly than ever before that you actually do have a power that's with you. And you too can take your foot off any brake. And if you've enjoyed this video, please share it. And then go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. So here's a question for you. Obviously, the story about the dune buggy and Mama, you have power you're not using, take your foot off the brake, inspired me. And it inspired me to bring that into my life. So if you were to bring it into your life, what's some kind of fear that might be holding you back? You could go ahead and make a note about that, and you're ready to break free from that this year with that power that's inside you. Or something you just simply want to achieve or attain this next year that you never have before, and you know it's going to require you to grow past a fear to do it. What's a goal you have or something you'd like to leave behind? It's New Year's. Let's celebrate this together. Go ahead and take a note on this. Put it in the chat section. And so I'm very happy to get to launch this new year with you. So go ahead and share your thoughts with me in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you, and so would everybody else who reads this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.